Hello guys, how are you? Good morning. Guys, I'm here and I'm doing fine, and I hope you guys you're also doing fine. So guys, there is an issue that I want to discuss about, and today I thought of just doing a little bit of vlog come a reaction. So the kind of reaction is a follow-up on what happened to mayuguno. So it's some kind of a twist kind of a reaction. A painful reaction it is, but also serves as an advice to mayuguno going forward. You know, I won't bring any video of anybody, of any video of mayuguno crying, of any video somebody who have reacted about it, because you know, the reaction and advice at this time is more important. And advice is more important than even reacting on it. So my reaction normally involves video to qualify it. But as a respect to mayuguno's feeling, and a respect I owe women outside there and mothers all over, I can't be tempted to put forth the video of mayuguno crying over here. I'm not saying crying is bad. Crying is healthy. And for those who now castigating mayuguno for crying on camera, that's biology. That's why there's this kind of myth that all men have been told and duped that a man who cries is a weakling, or a man who cries is a weak man. Biology defines that every human being who has got all six senses and respond to stimuli and behavior within the environment will always cry. This is what we call the involuntary action or the involuntary taxes according to biology. Things that you cannot take control of. The more you take control of them, the more you pile them to a toxic level, the more they build up and full to the brim. Therefore, you experience what we call the emotional verbiage. So the moment you develop an emotional verbiage, that's the time your emotional intelligence or your emotional well-being becomes deteriorating and will deteriorate further and will head to damage. So for your health control, always feel, if you want to cry, go cry. But when you cry, cry in a manner that is not demeaning. Are you there? So mayuguno is in its right senses. Mayuguno is in the right position to freely express his feelings, whether he wants to cry or whether he wants to cry doing what. That is it. So long as he's not doing anyone any kind of a favor, that is his emotion. Are you there? So you can only cry for someone how that someone is very important in your life. So it is impactful. Are you there? So it helps you to relieve the stress within. It helps you to relieve even the tension. So mayuguno was justified to cry. So whoever saying that mayuguno ought not to have cried is doing a disservice. It's either a narcissist or a toxic person and are in support of gender-based violence. Guys, this is Zackias, and when you're watching this channel for the very first time and coming across it, kindly take a moment, second or two, to always click at the notification bell, subscribe to my channel, like, watch, don't skip the ads, because that's the only way you can support me. To my loyal subscriber, I thank you for giving me 1,500 subscribers. Now I'm at 1,500 subscriptions. That's a milestone that I need to tell you, and I need to give thanks and gratitude to you guys. Your continued support is not taken for granted. Without your support, this channel wouldn't be where it is right now. So guys, that has been my concern, and it's a concern that even any other person must take a keynote of. So at this era, no woman at his right senses. How are you? Hey, niaje? Sawa? Mimi niko sawa hapa. Relax tu. So I'm on my usual regalia, recording myself, doing my content as usual, and everything going forward. Uliona drill, silent drill ya nini? The silent drill ya hiyo ilikuwa sufua bwana. Hiyo drill ilikuwa noma. Ilikuwa top notch. Uko leo. Uliwatch leo. Hata leo nilikuwa off. Off yangu imeisha. Kesho ni job kama kawaida. Mimi nimetulia. Kurelax tu. Bado kunga hapo kwa laundry machine. Inabidi. Vacation unaenda lini? Adla inafanya? Sawa. Mimi wacha ni continue kurecord hapa. Kutembea kurecord. Hata bado sijajua. I've not been told anything about it. But it's quite unfortunate that happened. Mpaka wa leo, no one knows what happened. No one knows what happened. It's quite unfortunate. Sawa, haina noma. So guys, this is still the compound I'm staying in, and along my usual vlog, I met a friend and we started engaging in our usual banter. Yes. So, you are speaking about gender-based violence, and I'm still skeptical about it, and I will always tell everybody that let's stop gender-based violence. And for the guys joining this vlog at this time and don't know what happened, I will refer you go to mayuguno's video or YouTube channel. You'll go and watch what happened to mayuguno. Mayuguno explained it bitterly, full with emotion of what happened, unfortunate situation that happened in his life. Are you there? So maybe a snippet of it. Mayuguno received a call very late, by midnight. You know, Mayuguno lives this side of Kenya, where he's building his villas, and the sister lives in his usual house, where Mayuguno used to rent, the other side of Tanzania. So he received a call from the sister, Dorina, then being notified that his mom is being killed by the dad. So the dad and the mom had a scuffle, and the dad resorted into butchering Mayuguno's mom, and Mayuguno's mom was wounded at the head, at the back of the head, and she bled, and later she became so unconscious. So something that really sent jitters and chills along Mayuguno's spine, and even Mayuguno's subscribers were really sorry, including yours truly. I tried reaching Mayuguno, but by that time the phone was so busy through WhatsApp call, because I believe at that point people were like calling him, wanted to know what really happened, you know. But that's it. So Mayuguno had to organize and call friends around, because he called Marwa, he called Sejo by that time also, who had the sickling dad at the hospital. Upon receiving the call, Sejo took only 15 minutes and reached Mayuguno. So when he reached Mayuguno place, where the Mayuguno is building his villas, he also happened to meet a neighbor. So they were like thinking whether to depart at 2 a.m. in the morning, or to wait. Something that when they call marwa advised them to wait a little bit, because, you know, the immigration over there, they will never give them the right to use the road at that time, because at that time, basically, it's even very risky in a foreign land. So what ensued, they decided to wait until maybe it is 4 a.m. then they quick start the journey. So that happened. So Sergio narrated that when upon time when they reached, they went to the stroll, but along the road they experienced countless number of problems. The tire burst twice. And in Africa culture, we say that it was kind of a jinx being broken, or it's that one symbolizes a certain kind of dangers. You know, in African society, with our kind of superstitious belief, such kind of happen, because a problem happens, you're traveling to go and salvage a problem, then you encounter problems after problems. The first tire burst, then the second tire burst. Are you there? And it happens only when you have already crossed the other land, and now you are far deep into a lonely road, then the problem happens. Well, such are the problems that people encounter when they attend any kind of field or work, or when they're traveling. You know, it's quite unfortunate, and something that I see it's bad. Something that I see it doesn't go well. Mainly, all these were to salvage a life. All this was to preserve someone's life. And who is this someone? This someone was Mayuguno's mom. Are you there? All this a friend Sergio was doing for Mayuguno. It was just not doing for Mayuguno only, but the first priority that happened, it is the preservation of life, it's the sanctity of life, it is also showing compassionate love for others before the love you have for yourself. That friendship was well exhibited going forward, and that's how people should exist, people should coexist and have the back of each other. Are you there? Well, to the issue that happened, I take this opportunity and this latitude to feel so bad that I'm a man. It is not like I reduce myself to a particular kind of creature, or I diminish my value. I still believe I'm of highest esteem, and I'm not valueless, both in terms of character, trait exhibition, both in terms of reasoning, and both in time of my principle. All those kind of emotions, all other kind of characters that's making man a man, I all exhibit them and I all have them in my DNA. There is always a time of everything, and a time to act, and a time also to think before you act. You know, it defies odds at this time in age. Still we get certain kind of repugnant kind of action that were being practiced in olden days. A fiery banter could have even been fine, rather than resulting to a physical assault. That is a physical assault that needed to be punished by law and the state as well. It puts Mayuguno into a precarious position that your two biological dad, mom fight, then you are at a dilemma what to do. Should you salvage a life first, preserve it first, or should you go for your father's neck and drop him into the bars or to the prisons forever? This is the gist and the problem also in Africa. Into other worlds, Mayuguno dads would be rotting into prison and will be behind the bars now. Such kind of apprehension ought to have been made a long time ago. But in Africa, we have certain cultures that will tell you, that is your dad, you want not to be doing this, your mom. But initially, when your dad was doing such kind of things, he never thought that this is your mom. I feel for Mayuguno, and I feel for the family, and may Mayuguno's mom recover soonest. I believe this is a problem sometimes, and also polygamy. It arises from both sides. The other side will gossip and will plan an attack of your mom. Such kind happens. It only takes a strong man and a reasonable man, an intelligent man, to bring his family in a way that never breaches the social and moral fabric of that family existence within the community and society. This is not the first incident happened, because Mayuguno spoke of it at one point, that he knows the dad. Even at that time when Mayuguno was evacuated from home and chased by the dad, Mayuguno told us through cheek and tongue that they were chased, both of them, with the mom. And the mom also was beaten because Mayuguno was still existing in that home. And Mayuguno was mishandled by the dad, claiming that Mayuguno is not a Tanzanian, Mayuguno is a Kenyan, that the mom came with Mayuguno from Kenya. So this is the bone of contention. And again, I believe these things also is happening just because maybe the dad is thinking that the Mayuguno's affinity for the mom is quite high and plainly in the hair. We see it. Even in terms of gift, because Mayuguno recognized the mom because the mom has been there for Mayuguno, while the dad most of the time, the only thing he does was just to go and drink alcohol, then comes and attack. But Mayuguno's mom, if you go to the Mayuguno's clip and you recall, Mayuguno even said, even at a time when he could sleep hungry, he could only call the mom, and the mom could even travel to come to Mayuguno's salvation. And countless number of times, Mayuguno was salvaged. I wonder, it's quite despicable that in this age in time, a man could still bend this law and resort to physically assault a woman who is so helpless. The reasons why I was saying that I pity myself being a man is because of the action. I'm a man, I cannot change the fact. But such kind of a portrait that put men to be always violent towards the women and ladies outside there, it's not a good portrait. It's not a good publicity. It's bad. It's bad, and it will continue to be bad, and I speak of it, it's bad. Mayuguno, it shall be well, and it's well. I'm glad that you took the situation and initiative as a man to travel and rummage your way, though far, late, but at least your mom was salvaged, now is in the hospital, being treated and is recuperating so well. That was good of you, because that is the love you must show your mom going forward and your family. Now, family is family. That's a fact. That's your dad, a fact. This is your mom, as a fact. I believe this is not the first incident that had happened. Others happened when you were young, and you could see the reasons that makes you flee from home. Such kind of constant repugnant behavior that's being exhibited by your father. I know it's painful as you stated, you could have even taken a knife to go and even hang your father and attack your father for have beaten your mom. My advice, do not digress that low. The best you ought to have done is to go and report to the police. But being that now that is not done, you can decide to act foolish. And acting foolish simply means forget. Forgive and forget. Or you can decide to forgive and don't. You can decide to forgive and don't forget. The choice is yours. Decide. But there are three kinds of advice that I want to give you going forward. And you should not retreat from this kind of advice. I will only give you an advice. I'm not forcing you to take this advice. But this advice, I'm saying, if I were you, if I was at your shoes and I'm empathizing with the situation going forward and I'm taking it so personal to that level, the best I could have done was to pick my mom away from that home and build a new home for my mom elsewhere, maybe next to your parcel of land. If you have any other parcels of land close, that's where you should start building your mom's house. Number one, advice number one, pick your mother from that violence. Bring your mother next to you, where your security of your mother is destined. You are doing it because of violence. You don't want violence. You don't want anybody beating your mom. You don't want any planned attack on your mom. Because the next, it will be you. Number one. Number two, what you can do, stay away from your dad, the whole of your family. Davyjnr should never go back to Tanzania. You also have roots in Kenya, and you are Kenyan because it is claimed by your dad that you guys, you're Kenyan men, you're Kenyan because your mom is a Kenyan. That again offers you a free citizenship of Kenya because one of your parents are Kenyan. You are born in Kenya, so by virtue of birth and by virtue of one of your parents are Kenyan. To be specific, from a Luo tribe. And I think this is the thing that even brought a problem. This is the thing that brought a problem, simply because your mom comes from a tribe known as Luo. Because you know, the tribal bigotry and the tribal the three musketeers who have been talking bad about you might also be having hand in this. Constant number of time. You better identify yourself as a Kenyan, settle in Kenya fully, and forget about Uganda. Forget about Tanzania. It would be your ancestry, but where you are not wanted, please leave them at peace. Come find your peace where you have control of your life. At that point, I will tell you a story, the reasons why I'm advising you this way. Therefore, you'll decide to pick what to do, what you want that makes you feel good. Thirdly, stop any help you're channeling to your dad forthwith. Any kind of help that you have given him, don't deprive him, don't take away from him. You gave him out of good heart. You supported him out of good heart. Live for him. The best you could have done, if special documentation that is still in Tanzania, you can go pick of it. Then hibernate your mom from that violence. Have your mom close to you. Have your mom close to you and entrust yourself entrust yourself and your mom's security on yourself. The fourth advice, where you used to rent, is still in Tanzania. You need to move with speed and remove the arena in that house. Shift the house maybe to come also into this Kenyan side or within Nyabohanzi side center. There is a places where Doreen you can rent for Dorina for the time being when you are still working for the houses. In fact, you can rent that house for Dorina and your mom. Your mom sleep the other side, Dorina has got a place of sleeping. Your small daughter, even the younger brother, will stay there. A place where even your dad don't know. He should not know such places where your mom lives. And also you put a stop and a gate and a security whereby your dad should not access. Let her know that. Let him know that. Because it's a relationship that is breaking. It is a cord that he decided that, and even calling you names that you're not from him, simply is a kind of a rejection that somebody doesn't need you around. It's simply a kind of somebody profiling you. Your mom will tell you more if you go and ask more about this topic. I'm advising you as a friend. I'm advising you as a person who knows the law. I'm advising you as a friend and a person who has been your supporter and a fan, who was touched by that story. And I'm against and I'm anti-gender-based violence going forward. That is the best thing you can do for your mom if you love your mom. The greatest reasons why you should move where you ought to have moved long time ago. Look at yourself. How many number of times you've stayed in Tanzania? Countless number of times. And you're chased. And if you go back in that line and you check back your lifeline previously, you could see that there is a change. Anytime you go back home, there is a deterioration. But anytime you move up from home to a different land and you rediscover yourself, you blossom. That's when you started building your villa. Simply means the home in Tanzania is not a place. God is speaking and telling you, move away from that home. If it's good, move your family from that home and you'll see the great flourish. When you're home, it was an abject poverty. You are chased and your life started sprouting, and God is blessing you in a new land and in a different land altogether. Which means your destiny is not meant from that home. Your destiny is meant from a new land. That's why I've been opining and telling people, sometimes your enemy is the holder of the key of your destiny. Now, your dad is your enemy of your mother, enemy of yourself, and enemy of your sister and your children going forward. And your dad is speaking to you that you don't belong to Tanzania, you belong to Kenya. It's like somebody pointing to you where you belong and it's pointing you where goal is. You go back to Tanzania, your life will diminish. Your mothers go back to Tanzania, her life will diminish. There's nothing that will flourish there. The only place you've flourished, the only place that you have genuine friends and have shown you the way, and you can create wealth, is this Kenyan side. The growth simply means when you're at home, you saw no growth. What you saw and what you are shown was violence. You went back home after 12 years. Your dad pretended to welcome you again. He is showing you plus your mom the middle finger that you don't belong there. You belong to Kenya. That's why he was referring to your mom after you've gone to mayuguno. You come here to disturb. Is it an issue of finance? Definitely. Is it an issue of a welcome? No one is welcoming you, whether you have money or not money. That is a decision your father and he has made. Any issues of land, of ancestry land over there, stop. Don't even ask your dad. Stay away from it. You have a parcel of land in Kenya. Make use of it. Build for your mom closer there. For the time being, you can rent for your mom for the time being as you do your other businesses. Upon finishing the house, you can start building your mom's house. Stop the issue of going to Tanzania. Stop it. Maybe what can get you back to Tanzania is when your mom shall have died. And those people, their daddy claim the body to go and burial, for them to bury, God forbid. That's the only thing that you can compromise situation. But I'm of opinion, you completely disassociate from your dad. Help going to your dad should just stop forthwith. And that is the only thing that you should be doing. I will be reaching you and I will be calling you through WhatsApp and we'll talk. This one I've just put it on air so that you can maybe watch it and tangle with it. Guys, you can also leave your comment down there. A comment advising mayuguno, a comment that always will recover souls, not a comment that will further break the souls. At this time, mayuguno needs help. And let's take time to pray for mayuguno. Let's take time to pray for mayuguno's mom and for quick recovery. Until next time, this is SnrZack, and let's shun the gender-based violence. Bye.